Hello.
Today we're back with another episode of Two Peas Potting. Your favorite, we're just going to say it, bookish podcast with a side of judgment.
And lots of intrusive thoughts. And today we are covering yet another book that we both read.
What?
And it's, Kylie's favorite author.
And if you don't know who it is by now, you should know.
You definitely should. It's The Surrogate Mother by Miss Freida McFadden, the queen herself. And there's something special about this book for me.
Oh, yeah.
I went to the bookstore, not very local, but kind of local. And they were handing out, the new cover copies of these. And it came with a signed sticker by her.
And that's a wet signature, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. It may not be an official, signed copy of one of her books, but it's close enough.
No.
And I got it, and I'm like, yes, please.
Over
I would
the
die.
moon.
I would die if I got, a signed copy by her, with her. Oh my God.
Kylie would be over the moon. Freida, if you ever somehow hear this, Kylie would lose her mind.
I am obsessed with you.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
I mean, not in a creepy way. I love your work.
You do. That is your top author.
She really is. And, I've never had a favorite author before, so, this is truly an honor. And,
Really enough.
it's an honor for me to have a favorite author.
I love that.
But yeah, so we're talking about The Surrogate Mother, and this
that
is
was
definitely...
a Freida book I read before you.
I know. It had been on my list for a while. It takes me a while to get through them because, I get sad when I finish it because I'm like, oh, that's less and less books I have to read by her.
Hey, she comes out with them pretty quick.
She really does. She really does. But, so this is definitely one of her earlier books. And you can totally tell because, if you're familiar with Frida's work, her books typically have a part 1, part 2, part 3, sometimes a 4. This book doesn't have that at all. It's just straight book. It's just straight story. And I don't know, her writing just is different. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's definitely, she's still getting into her...
Yeah, her groove and her... Yeah, because this is I think in her top 5 of the earlier releases, I think, something like that. But yeah, so Surrogate Mother.
That book, okay, I'm just gonna say it wasn't my favorite.
I am also gonna say it wasn't mine either, and not that it was bad. I never think anything she writes is bad. I'm just gonna say that. But I rated it a 3.5 just because, and this is how I can tell it's her earlier book or one of her earlier books, because it was pretty predictable. And if you're familiar with Frida's books, it's not predictable. You have a hard time predicting it. You think you're on the right track, and then she throws in all these freaking plot twists and turns, and then it comes out to be somebody you it wasn't even on your radar, for example. Yeah. And you're like, oh my God. And this one, you're right on track the whole time. So just to dive in a little bit, it's about a lady named Abby Alder. She's 36 years old, and she has a job in advertising that she loves. She has a substantial trust fund, and she is very happily married to a very handsome math professor named Sam Alder. No. And the only thing that's missing from their life is a child. And unfortunately, Abby is unable to conceive naturally. And so she is faced with disappointment after disappointment. She went through a lot of fertility treatments.
Everything. They tried IVF. They tried
everything. And then they decide to adopt. Yeah. It's successful. The lady's almost due. her lovely coworkers throw her like a baby shower like they throw every other mother. And it's a little bit different for her because she's not pregnant, but they're still giving it to her. And then the day of the freaking baby shower, her handsome husband comes in and he's like, "Hey, honey, I need to talk to you. Like, you should sit down." She's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, you should sit down for this. And she's like, "No, just tell me." And unfortunately, their adoption fell through. Weeks before they were supposed to get the child.
The baby.
And it was just heart-wrenching for her because it took like years for them to even get approved.
The adoption process is so long and it's so cutthroat because if you want a baby, like everybody wants a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. No,
yeah. And so what sucks even more is Abby is infertile. She can't conceive or anything, and Sam fortunately is fertile and he can have his own child, his own biological child. And Abby feels like she's failing him because she can't give him what he's wanted so long. Like since they first met, he had talked about how much he wanted children. He wanted to start a family with her. And he's a couple years older than her. So like, he's like, I don't want to be an old dad, which is why they started doing adoption. And like, Sam was okay with like adopting a toddler because that can go a little bit faster, you know?
Yeah.
Because everybody wants a newborn baby. And she's like, I really want to experience like having a newborn, you know? And I was like, you know, that's fair. Especially if you can't naturally have your own children. Yeah, it's like you want to experience that. And like they were open to adopting more children too. So she's like, the next one we can get like a toddler. I know it sounds weird talking about like shopping for a child like that, but I mean,
that's basically what they were doing.
That's basically what they're doing. And so yeah, there's like the first freaking 2 chapters of the book right there, and you're like, woof.
And then like I think what makes it even harder for Abby is her, I can't remember her boss's name.
Oh my gosh, what is her boss? I forget it too. Is it Denise?
Yes, Denise Holt.
Yep.
So like before, like as they're getting ready for like her baby shower, like Denise is just like, well, you're not even having a kid anyway. Like, do you even need to go on maternity leave? Like, blah 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 blah. And it's like super unsupportive.
Yeah, because Abby took off a lot of time you can for maternity leave, which is 3 months, I believe. 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
Yeah. And Denise was kind of being like, she was kind of being a see you next Tuesday about it. I mean, like, well, you're not even having the baby, so why do you need that much time off? And she was like, to bond with my baby. Like, just because the baby's not coming out of me doesn't mean it's not my baby.
Yeah, I still need to have that bonding time.
Yeah,
even
like she's
more so, I feel.
Oh, for sure. Like, she's gonna be the mother regardless.
And then like that was also like really hard on Abby because she had a really good relationship with her boss when she first started, and she was like such a mentor to her, and she was called like Abby was called like her rising star.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like went to shit, and you don't really know why.
Yeah, you don't really know why, but like Abby does say that, you know, Denise doesn't really like children. She doesn't have any of her own. She said children was like a distraction or something.
Yeah.
The sorts
she doesn't
like that.
value that like family aspect. She's like, nope, kids get in the way of like she's one of those like all work people.
Yeah, she's
work is her life. Basically.
To be super successful. That's what matters to her, not really having a family. Yeah. So, but the good news is like Sam never showed any interest in wanting to leave Abby because she can't have children. Like he was more than okay with adopting and doing that. He just wanted to be a father. That was it. And so, like I said, Sam is a very handsome man, and being very handsome and being a college professor, girls were always pining after him, like little college girls from the ages of like 18 to like the early 20s. And I guess these girls would always call the house, and Abby would always be the one answering, and she was just like, oh my God.
Also, like, as an educator, that's so inappropriate. How did they get your number?
Right? Maybe, I don't know. It's different for professors, I guess. I don't know.
I never once have had my professor's phone number. Ever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird how they got it. Like, I mean, when I was in middle school, I don't know why, but we got these little like phone books every year, and like it had all the teachers' information in there, like their phone number, their email, sometimes their house address, and it was like that's yeah, it was weird. It even had like students' house addresses too. It was really
All town
thinking
thing.
thinking back on it now. I'm like, wow, it's creepy.
Yeah. No. If I was I couldn't have been a teacher back then. I'd been like, aha, no.
Yeah, this is when I was like in the third grade, so like we were third grade, but yeah, it was weird. Um, so Abby, is obviously heartbroken about this. So they go home and they talk about things and they're like, okay, let's not look in our spare room because they had the spare room all
All
done up
set
at
up.
the nursery. Yeah, like Sam put together the crib and everything. And they had all these packages from people sending gifts to them. And it was just really hard for Abby. So she was like, okay, I can't deal with this right now. And so fast forward a little bit, the next day, she doesn't take the next day off, which is wild.
Yeah.
I would have
I think
taken
they
that day off
both should have.
for sure. Because, like, yes, it was an adoption, but, like, that's still going to hurt because you've been preparing for how long for this
Yeah,
baby to come?
it's been expected. Like you're
Yeah,
like, oh, this is what we've been looking forward to. This is what like we want. Like,
exactly. And so the next day she's at work and Abby has a personal assistant. Her name is Monica Johnson. And the day before at the baby shower, she was like being great. She was bringing in all these
very
gifts, helping with
supportive.
the cake. Yeah, being like a phenomenal assistant. And she heard about everything and she's like trying to make Abby feel better. And so she comes into her office and she's bringing her something and she's being all weird. And Abby's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? And she's like, what if I was your surrogate? And
Yeah, super out
Abby,
of the blue.
super out of the blue. And Abby was like, well, yeah, we've thought about that. She's like, but I can't produce eggs. Like, I'm not fertile. Nothing comes out. So it's like, that was out of the question. And she's like, okay, but like, I'm saying, what if I'm your surrogate and we use my egg and your husband's sperm? And she was basically saying like, she didn't want children. She was like focused on going to school. She wanted to go to like grad school. She just didn't have the money. She's like, and this could be like the perfect situation.
To help me get the money.
Yeah, to help me get the money, and then you get to have a baby.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That was
So
such like a red flag for me.
it was for me too. And then so a little background on Monica is this is Abby's newest assistant because her former assistant Gertie broke her hip and she was unable to return to work. So Abby had to hire a new assistant and she found Monica and it was like, yay, Monica. And Monica is like
Monica.
yeah, yeah, Monica is like a super intelligent and efficient worker and eerily resembles a younger Abby.
Yeah, like their hair is the same. They dress similarly, which I mean that could also just be like office wear is very similar. Like it's hard to have a different style when it's all the same, you know.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But
Especially
like
for
they have the
women.
same like bob black like hair and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I like this stuff. Oh, I like the same thing you do. What?
Yeah. And so, like, as Monica gives her spiel, and she's like, okay, so you pay me basically my school tuition fees and I'll carry your baby. And Monica also said, once I start showing, I'll leave
Oh,
the company so that nobody suspects anything.
yeah, because they were worried about because like they were Abby was worried that they were gonna think like she forced her to do it because
Yeah.
she's her superior.
Yeah.
Also, thing to that like dang it, I just remembered and I just forgot about about the like nope, it's gone. It left. Dang it.
Welcome to my life, dude. So yeah, she promised to leave because it would be like basically it could look like an abuse of power.
I do remember now. So they were okay, like the money wasn't an issue for Abby because Abby has like a huge trust fund.
Yeah,
So
Abby
she
is
was
very...
born from a family with money.
Yeah, she's... What's that word I'm looking for?
Trust fund baby?
Yes, but that's not the one. Whatever, it's gone.
Generational wealth?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, she's independently wealthy. There we go.
Yes, yeah. Sam didn't have the money. It was all Abby.
And Abby made good money at her job and everything, so, like, she was very independently wealthy, but she didn't, like, show it off.
Yeah, she was very humble about it.
Yes, very humble about it, and she never made her husband feel any type of way about not making as much. She was like, who cares? It's whatever. Like, it's just money. And, like, I wish I could just look at money like that.
No shit.
So yeah, then Monica's like, yeah, this is, like, the perfect situation. Like, I think we can really help each other out. And so Abby, she gets convinced a little bit by Monica, but she's like, I have to talk to my husband first. Like, I can't just make this decision on my own. So she brings it to Sam's attention. Sam is very, very not okay with it from the very beginning. He thinks it's weird. He's like, I'm not okay.
Why would she just offer that? That's so fucking strange.
Yeah. Which, applause to Sam for seeing that red flag right away. Like, applause for Sam, because I went through my emotions with Sam in this book.
Yeah.
Ask Sam. I was texting her. I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
Oh, God. So he was very on the edge about it, not wanting to. And he was more like, why don't we just adopt, like, an older child, like a toddler? Like, because he just wanted to be a father. He's like, let's just go for, like, an older child now. That's doable. We can attain that pretty quick. You know, adopting an older child is a lot easier than adopting a baby. But Abby was like, no.
Adamant.
They fought about it. Yeah. And then the next day, Abby was getting ready. Abby was ready to, like, be okay with the toddler. And then Sam comes up. He's like, let's do it. And she's like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're okay
Why
with
did
it?
you flip like that?
Yeah.
Which
And
was
he was like,
suspicious.
seems a little suspicious. But, like, she wanted to have a newborn baby. And I think he just wanted to make her happy, you know? Because, like, she will never get to experience that. So he was like, he understood that.
But it was still suspicious.
Yeah. And then Abby talks to her mother and her best friend who also works at the company with her.
Ellie!
Bless you.
Thank you.
So she talks to her mom and her best friend at her job, and they're both like, I don't think this is a good idea. Seems suspicious. And that's actually what Shelly said. She's like, that seems very suspicious. Like, why would she just want to do that? And
she's
Shelly...
And then Abby is like, well, like, trying to, like, rationalize. Like, well, it's because of this. Like, it makes total sense. Like, her brain, because she wants it so bad, is, like, making it make sense, basically.
Yeah, like, she had the justification for it. But Shelly, being the real brains of everything, she's pointing out the dangers of everything. Like, being the fact that Monica is a very attractive young woman who would be holding her husband's baby. That wouldn't start to make Abby feel some type of way. And Abby was like, no, I wouldn't do that. And then, so the only reason Sam became on board, he's like, we gotta have dinner with her first, and I want to basically interview her. And, you know, which is smart on Sam's part. I think that was smart because he was like, I'm not saying yes 100%. He's like, we got to do background checks. He's like, I'm considering it. We have to go through background checks. We have to talk to her family. We have to see if there's any history.
Family history.
Yeah. Which is smart.
Yes.
And so they collect everything from Abby, and she gives it over very, very willingly. Like, nothing is giving Abby red flags about Monica. Like, Abby herself does not see what everybody else is seeing.
No, not at all.
Not at all. And so Abby speaks to Monica's mother. She gets a hold of Monica's mother, and she gets reassured. And then she talks to Monica's roommate, Chelsea, and they both say that, like, Monica's a very good person. She's reliable. She's trustworthy. You know, she's very responsible. Like, she's never done anything crazy. She doesn't go out and party every night. Like, she's just a chill girl. And so they're like, okay. And so Sam agrees because he found nothing on his end of everything. And so...
And when they had dinner, Sam and Monica
undid. Yeah.
instantly. Like, she was talking about how her favorite director was Quentin Tarantino, and Sam's like, what a coincidence! My favorite movie is, what was it, like Pulp Fiction? My favorite movie is Pulp Fiction, and then that was when Abby started to feel like
weird.
left
She's
out.
like,
She's like, I didn't know that.
mm-hmm.
And like they're talking about like other things and like bonding, and she's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like, huh. And then so Sam agrees to it. And so they go to like Sam does his like sperm donation thingy. And Monica becomes pregnant right away.
Instantly took.
Instantly. And then like there was, I think it was a couple days, not a couple days, but like a week or so later, Monica comes to work and she shows Abby the pregnancy test. And Abby's like, oh my God, it worked. Like, you're pregnant. And like she texts Sam and she tells Sam is still not enthusiastic about it. And his response back to her was just great, period.
Which is like weird.
It was weird because, I mean, it was very clear that Sam was pretty uncomfortable throughout this entire process. Like, he didn't want to do this. He felt weird because,
like, I don't know. Like, you would think that he would. Like, I fully understand trying to like appease your spouse, but this is something like so serious that like you both need to be like fully committed on the same page for it to work. And I feel like this was like just doomed for failure from the beginning because like most of the time you don't pick a surrogate that you know because it just gets messy.
Yeah, it gets so messy, and like typically you don't use the surrogate's egg.
No. And it got messy.
Just,
The moment she found out she was pregnant, they had to start making like hospital appointments. So
yes.
Abby
Well, the
was like,
first weird
obviously,
thing was Monica wanted to keep the pregnancy test, and Abby was like, "Why? That's weird."
yes, that was
Which is the start of it all.
very. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, that part stuck with me.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, because like then Abby and Monica are both really excited about the first appointment, and they schedule it, and Sam like doesn't want to go, and so he doesn't go to the first one, but then they convince him to go.
Well, because Sam wanted to have her over for dinner again, and conveniently, Abby's boss Denise makes her stay later on the night that they're supposed to have dinner, and so Monica still goes over to Abby's house and is just chilling with Sam for like 2.5 hours before Abby gets home. And when she gets home, they're like chilling on the couch. Sam's a little drunk, which is unlike Sam because he normally doesn't drink.
Yep.
And they're like a little too cozy for Abby's liking.
Girl, same.
And then so that's when it spilled about the first doctor appointment, and Sam was like twisting his story. He's like, you didn't tell me about that. Like, I would have loved to go. And she's like, oh, okay,
What?
sure.
No, that's not what you said, my guy.
Yeah. And then so Abby starts to get very disturbed by everything. And then the next doctor's appointment comes, and Monica starts being weird with Abby. She like doesn't want Abby in the room with her anymore. She wants Sam in the room with her. Monica starts making decisions about the pregnancy without consulting with Abby.
Hell no.
And she starts to arrange appointments with only Sam and doesn't tell Abby about it. Or because Monica has access to Abby's schedule because it's her assistant, she schedules it when she knows Abby is busy. And then she gaslights Abby saying, no, I told you about it. You just didn't remember, obviously, because she puts it in her calendar after the fact. Or she changes it. And so when she's constantly going to these appointments, they assume that Sam is her husband. And Abby comes over and says, no, that's my husband. Yeah. And then so Monica starts changing, and then her appearance starts to change. And so Monica was very like, Abby described Monica as she was very pretty, but she dressed kind of plain. And
yes,
as she's getting
bland.
very bland. And as she's getting more pregnant, basically, her clothing starts to change to being a little bit more provocative, like low cut shirts. She's wearing makeup when she never wore makeup before, and she's just changing. And like she's wearing low cut stuff around Sam, and it's making Abby very uncomfortable. It's all so many red flags.
I mean, so many more
Well,
red
yes,
flags.
more. Like, and more, and like more frequently too, you know?
Yes. And Sam and Monica just become more and more like chummy.
They're getting closer and closer, and Abby doesn't like it. And then like Abby is basically starting to let it affect her work. And she's making all these mistakes on a huge project that she's never made before. And it's just weird because she doesn't remember making them. And like, that's what's so strange about it, is because normally if you make a mistake or like say something wrong in an email, you can remember it and you can recall it. And when Denise is bringing all these mistakes to her attention, she's like, I never did that. I never said that. And then Denise is like, what do you mean? Like, how, when it's coming straight from your email? Or like she would be talking a little bit shit on her boss to her friend, and it got sent to Denise. And she's like, I know for a fact I didn't send that to you.
Like I might fuck up, but I don't fuck up that bad.
Seriously. And it's like, it's just, and you're like, okay, obviously. And then Abby starts putting two and two together on her own. She's like, the only other person who has access to all of my stuff is Monica, my assistant. And it's like, listen, girl, if all signs are pointing back to Monica, she's the problem. If it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it's a duck.
Must be a duck.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And that's where it starts escalating.
To
like
say
excessively. So
not even slow. It just goes like from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yes, 0 to 100 real quick. Because with all of those instances with Denise and like how she's like, what do you mean you didn't send that? I sent this. How are you forgetting this? Blah, 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 blah. Monica has been inserting herself and been like, oh, well, I fixed this for you. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did this. Like basically trying to make Abby obsolete in the workplace. Oh, yeah. In the workplace, at home too.
Making her look bad in front of her husband, in front of her boss, in front of her colleagues, everybody.
And so they're like, what is going on? And then Monica puts the bug in the ear of, well, maybe she's doing drugs. Like, I knew someone who did drugs. And that behavior was similar to like what I saw.
Mm-hmm. And then after a little while of all this stuff, you know, Abby is forced to tell her job about the surrogacy.
Yep.
And all that. And then that's when Monica really starts fucking coming after Abby. And like, so Abby's job does random drug testing. And this was around the time Monica was like, maybe she's doing drugs. And Denise calls Abby in her office and is like, hey, your drug test came back positive for, was it amphetamine? Yeah. Uh-huh. And she was like, the fuck?
I've never taken amphetamines in my entire life, girl.
Yeah. And then she got like immediately fired for that. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't do drugs. And then what pissed me off was when she came home to her husband and told him about it, and he was starting to doubt her.
And he's like, well, you've been acting fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Use you, sir!
Never call your wife crazy. Or girlfriend. Or spouse. Anything. Don't call your partner crazy at all. Because that'll start World War fucking 1,000.
Yeah, because, well, and like, the reason why Sam is like, well, maybe you are doing drugs is because, like, she's been so, like, paranoid,
erratic, all things.
Monica, and, like, she's had, like, insomnia and shit like that, so he's like, well, that must be that's the explanation, you know, like, that has to be the only explanation, you know, can't be.
Yeah, and, like, she gets mad, rightfully so, because she's like, you're my husband, you see me every day, you would kind of know if I was taking drugs. Like, what? And like, she's getting upset because, first of all, she's voicing all of her concerns to her spouse, right? He's not believing her. And it's like, I'm not saying your spouse has to believe you all the time, but like, they're supposed to be your person. They're supposed to have your back, whether you are like right or wrong. What is that saying? You have my back in public, and we can talk about disagreeing in private.
Yes.
That's what you do. It's like, yes, I will have your back in public, but when we get home, let's actually talk about this, because like, you're kind of wrong in this sense, but I'm not going to call you out in front of everybody. That's partnership. Yeah. And so Monica starts to show randomly one day, like, she's showing. And Abby was like, okay, well, like, yeah, at work. Abby's like, okay, well, I guess we should start getting your paperwork ready for you to quit. And Monica's like, what do you mean? Like,
I'm not quitting.
never said, yeah, she's like, I never said I was quitting. And she's like, but yeah, you did.
Also, I'm going to pause you real quick. While I was reading this whole book, I'm like, this is why you sign a contract. Get it in writing.
That should have been in writing, or Abby should have recorded it or something. Like, something that needed. Yeah, I agree with you. That should have been in the contract.
The whole terms of their entire surrogacy should have been.
It should have been documented. It should have been notarized. It should have been all of that stuff. It should have been like legally done, because why Sam didn't say that in the first place kind of threw me, because he was so like by the book about everything.
Yeah, that's why he's suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah. But then he starts not getting suspicious as the pregnancy progresses. And then it starts, she gets paranoid. She gets all this stuff. And then, Sam's not believing her about stuff. And then what pissed me off is one of the sonograms or something. Sam blatantly says, this is my child. And Abby is like, I thought it was ours. He's like, oh, that's what I meant. And she was like, sure. Which, talk about a punch in the gut right there.
Like, I'm sorry. I'd be like, fine, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm taking my money, so good luck paying your surrogate.
Like, if that's the game you want to play,
I don't have to.
Especially if that was the game he wanted to play, where this is my child, be like, okay, well, this is my money.
My house, get the fuck out. Yeah.
Like, I pay for this, I pay for this, I pay for this. It's like, if this is your child, why don't you go get your own place with your child? Because it's not mine, and I'll stop paying her, because that's my money. It's like, if you want to play this petty game, I'll play the petty game with you. So yeah.
I just hated, like, the drug situation really pissed me off.
Yeah, and then when Sam goes through her drawers and finds
meth.
Crystal meth. Like, what the fuck?
And then he's like, well, now you have to go to a drug rehabilitation program. And she's like, that's not mine. And he's like, sure. And then when they found the meth at her office, too.
Mm-hmm.
No, because they didn't fire her right away. They put her on leave while they investigated.
Oh, yeah.
And then they found the planted crystal.
Yeah. But Abby is convinced that it's Monica drugging her, but she doesn't tell anybody about that.
Because she'll just sound crazy and no one will believe her.
Yeah, because she's like, it's already going that way. Like, my own husband doesn't really or believe me. So then Abby, needing like a cheer up, she calls her old assistant Gertie, sees how she's doing, meets up with her for coffee. And then while she's meeting up with her for coffee, Denise calls her.
Well, D-Nice.
D-Nice.
And like Denise, poor Denise.
I know.
So when she called Abby, like, she was finally like, okay, I think I made a mistake firing you. Like, this isn't you. Like, I know you. We've worked together for years. Like, I've always been on your side. Like, come talk and we'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Also,
because Denise was her boss. Like, Denise was her friend first.
Yeah. And she like called me on the phone, and she's like, come, like, I made a mistake. Come in after work when everybody's gone. Problem number 1.
Yeah, I would have been like, why don't I come in like right before everybody's off, like last hour or so, when people are
Well,
still.
and like, but the thing is, like, she didn't have any reason to be suspicious about anything.
That's true. And like, she knows how busy Denise is, so it's like after everybody was off was like the prime time, because it
Like,
states in the
who
book
would
that like,
suspect anything was happening?
yeah, and it states in the book that like Abby and Denise used to stay after hours all the time, and it was no big deal. So she was like, no big deal. Like this way, she won't be distracted by anything.
And so she was still at coffee with Gertie, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this just happened. Like things might be starting to turn around." And Gertie's like, "Good for you, sweetie. I'm happy for you."
Yeah.
Did not turn around.
Yeah.
It just got on the express train.
It just started from there.
The bullet train, actually. We were there.
Literally.
So poor Abby shows up to the office, and it wasn't long after like the day was done. And she shows up. She's like, Denise. Goes into Denise's office, and like the offices have like glass windows. And she's like, she didn't see Denise, and she's like, well, I guess I'll just wait for her here. And then she goes around the desk, and Denise is on the floor.
Yeah, Denise is dead. She's DED dead.
She gone.
Yeah, and
so obviously, because Abby didn't do it, she called the cops.
Yeah.
And so the cops show up, and they're like, okay, we need to make a report. What happened? And so Abby's like, I don't know. Like, she called me earlier and said she wanted to meet because she, like, I had been fired for, like, a wrongful drug test, and we were going to work it out. And I showed up and she was dead. And they're like, so you're meeting with her because she fired you. So obviously you were upset. So tell us why your letter opener was used to murder her.
Yep. And Abby didn't have an answer because she was like, I've been missing that for weeks. Like, and it was a present from Sam.
I haven't had it. Also, yeah, it's from Sam. So that's how they know, because it's like engraved.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they knew it was hers.
Yeah.
They're like, also, she's like, no, I didn't do it. Like, I've been missing that letter opener. They're like, sure. Can you explain this fucking email? And she's like, what email? I've been fired. Like, I haven't had access to my email. I couldn't access it. And he's like, well, that's not what this email says. And it was like a threatening email to delete from Abby's work email.
Because Abby was essentially like fired she wasn't working for like a few days basically. So she couldn't even access that email if she wanted to.
Yeah, everything was shut down while they were doing like the drug investigation.
Yeah.
And so at that point, like, she's public enemy number 1.
Literally. Poor Abby too.
So then she's like, great, Sam thinks I'm on drugs, and now like I'm gonna be a murderer. And thank God that she has money.
For real.
Because Abby called, so she didn't call Sam because he's not gonna help her. So she calls her mom. And one thing to note about Abby's mom is Abby's mom never liked Sam.
No.
She always thought that he was only interested in her for her trust fund.
For her money.
And so Abby calls her mom and just like word vomits everything that has been going on. And her mom, like, it reminded me of Rachel's mom from Friends. Like, how like she's like, see, honey, this is why we can't be around people who don't have money because they're just gonna use you.
Yeah. And at this point, Abby is still like, she's still ride or die for her husband. She's like, no, he's not like that.
And so she's like, all right, well, we're gonna get you like the good family attorney.
Yeah. Because she was essentially facing either life in prison or 15 years.
Yeah. And so Abby's attorney is like, okay, so it's life in prison, but if you plead guilty, or not plead guilty, accept like the plea deal, then you'll only have 15 years. And she's like, but that's 15 years of my life for something I didn't fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fucking do it. And so she's like, no.
Yeah, she's like, fuck that. And
She's
then
like,
she
no, I'm not doing that. Like, I have a baby on the way.
Yeah, because the only person that knew that Monica was behind shit is dead. Because with Denise, she called Abby because she found out that Abby was getting drugged because Monica had pills of some sort and was like drugging her coffee every morning. And she found that, and then Monica knew Denise found that.
Off it.
Off with your head. But not really. Just stabbed her.
And so then Abby basically goes into fight or flight. And she's like, I'm going to do a deep dive. I'm going to prove that I'm not the one who did this. Like, she knew it was Monica. Like, she knew. Mm-hmm. Who else would do this?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, okay, I got to go back and I have to, like, deep dive into Monica's life. And when they did the background checks, they talked to one of Monica's old roommates. And so she's like, I'm going to go talk to this roommate again. And
I'm so sorry.
No, bless you.
Thank you.
And Abby soon discovers that the girl Chelsea was not actually Monica's roommate. Monica paid her, like just some random chick, to pose as her roommate. So then Abby's like, oh, investigating, and finds her old roommate, like her old college roommate, right?
Yeah, the real college roommate.
Yeah, the real one. And the roommate was like, oh no, that bitch is crazy, but like, I'm not gonna get involved in this because like, she's psycho. And just like, cut your losses and like, get away from her.
And then she also says like, she almost killed me, so.
And didn't she think like, the roommate said like, she thinks she killed like, her ex, like Monica killed her ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. They're like, we're pretty sure, because they smelt it. Because she said they had an argument in her room one day, and then it went quiet, and then days leading after that, it started to be rancid in her room.
Right, and then the roommate moved out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the roommate ended up moving out.
I want to know what she did to the body.
I know, and they never say. And then so, Abby hearing this, she's like, oh my god, like finally she feels seen and heard, but she's also like, fuck.
Because this girl's not going to back her up. Yeah, she doesn't want to be involved.
Which is fair. Like, that's fair. She was scared because she went through her own hell with her. And then she said, and then she said Abby's mom, or not Abby, Monica's mom was just as crazy as her. And Abby was like,
what? And so she tracks down her real mom, and
Johnson.
And she like goes and talks to her again, and she's like, no bitch, tell me the truth about this girl. And the mom confirms like, yeah, Monica's always been kind of unstable. And we think that she killed her best friend in high school because they had an argument over a boy. I am sorry, ma'am, what? Oh yeah, we think that, but there's no proof, but we didn't do anything about it. I'm gagged. Like, what?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you mean?
They're like, and then it's revealed that she's been estranged from Monica for some time for a particular reason.
Because allegedly, according to Monica, she's been having an affair with a married math professor
named Sam. This is when I got lit.
Fucker! Knew we couldn't trust him.
That's when I got so mad. I was like, oh, Shelly was right all along.
Don't let a pretty young woman near your husband.
And so basically, Abby's whole life just got turned upside fucking down. Like, her head's spinning. She's falling off the fucking rails. She's like, okay, so Sam and Monica have been plotting this so that they could be together and to get me out of the picture. all right, cool.
And use my money.
Yep. So she goes home. She's alone in her apartment, and she receives a visit from Gertie because Gertie was worried about her the other day. She was like, "Hey, honey, like, you just didn't look okay. Like, can I come in and like cook you breakfast or something?" And Abby being like, "Oh, my favorite assistant, like, please, yes, come in. Like, can you just come back and work for me?" Type of
She's like,
thing.
I just need somebody who actually cares about me because apparently nobody on this fucking planet does.
Not even my own husband. And so she just
so
unloads
Gertie
on
is
Gertie.
like yeah. So Gertie's cooking her breakfast and gives her breakfast, and she's eating. Abby's eating her breakfast, and like she's telling Gertie like everything that had happened, and she's like, "Oh wow, honey, that just seems like a lot." And then there's a knock on the door. She's like, "Who the fuck?" And guess who's at the motherfucking door?
Yeah.
The
Miss Monica.
bitch.
Gertie, she's like, "Oh, I'll just leave you two." And then, Abby being afraid, she's like, "No, stay here.
Yeah, she's like, "Please don't leave me."
Like, I want somebody in here." So she's like, "Okay, I'll just clean the kitchen then." And this is just when it goes.
It just gets from it was worse, and then it got worser. Like
Yeah, like there was only a few things that could make this moment even more. And this is when
so Monica just wanted to like talk to Abby to try to work things out. And so they're like in the living room and they're talking, and like as they're talking, like Abby does not feel well. She's like, "What the fuck?"
ooh,
Getting very drowsy.
getting double vision, kind of getting all like disoriented, and she's not okay.
And that's when Monica kind of reveals like, "Oh, it's working."
Mm-hmm. And then she
like,
calls out, she's like, "So how much did you put in it, Mom?" And that's when Abby's like, "The fuck?"
But that one, I did
And
not see that one coming.
I didn't see that one coming either. That one got me. Like there was
I was like,
a couple plot twists got me. Like the Sam plot twist got me too.
yeah.
And then this one, and I was like, "Whoa!" And so she was basically all of her sleeping pills got put in her food, which is
And so they told her, they're like, "Yeah, we drugged you with sleeping pills, but don't worry, you'll just fall asleep and never wake up. I'll take care of Sam and the baby. Like you won't have to worry, and we're just gonna write you this suicide note because you just couldn't handle it."
Mm-hmm. And then Abby's like, "But I spoke to your mom yesterday," and she was like, "Louise, that's my step."
Yeah, she's like, "That's not my mom. This is my mom."
And Monica and Gertie have been plotting together since Gertie worked for Abby because Monica took Sam's math class and she just instantly fell in love with Sam and basically spun a whole story that was not what it seems to be.
She's like, "Yeah, he helped me this one time with my math, and he immediately loved me."
Yeah. And then so she told her mom that, and they decided Sam was obviously her perfect man. So they would do anything.
We gotta get Abby out of the way.
Yeah, anything to make it happen. And Gertie knew that Abby would agree for surrogacy because she was so desperate to have a kid, and she wanted to make Sam happy.
Gertie, this fucking psycho old lady, let Monica like push her down the stairs to break her fucking
her hip. Like, I wouldn't break my hip for anybody. Having pretty much already done that, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll let you break my hip so I can like get out of work." And so then Gertie recommends Monica because she knows that Abby will trust her.
Mm-hmm. And then all this is going down. They like tie Abby up, blindfold her, put her on her bed, and then they hear Sam come home. Monica's like, "Fuck, he wasn't supposed to come home." And there's like a crack between their bed and the wall. Monica just shoves Abby in that crack. Sam is like looking for Abby. He's like, "Where is she?" Like, "I can't find her." Monica is like, what's the word I'm looking for? She's like distracting him and kind of like being like, "I tried to talk to her, but she was just too erratic."
She was so irate, and she left. She left her phone. She left everything here. I tried to comfort her.
Yep. And Sam isn't like buying it, and it's clear that Sam is very like uncomfortable with Monica being like there, because he's like, why are you here?
Yeah, why are you at the apartment?
Yeah. And that's when Abby's hearing all this, and she's like, oh, he doesn't sound like he's in on this at all. And then he's like, wait, you said she left her purse and phone. That's not like her. She wouldn't just leave her stuff behind. Because they, at this point, I think they've been together for like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
And so he calls Abby's phone, and Abby's phone is on her, and the sound is on, and he hears it coming, and he's like, hello? And that's when Monica's like, fuck. And then she pulls out a gun on him. And, Abby can't move because she's bound. Her hands are tied behind her back, and she can't make a noise because she's got like something on her mouth. Yeah. And she's just like, and then she hears a gun.
But don't worry, guys. He didn't die.
No. He's just wounded.
I don't remember where she shot.
I don't remember either. I want to say it was like, I'm not even going to venture, I guess, because I don't remember.
It was like the arm or something.
Something like that.
And then, because she's like a psycho girl, and she's like, like in movies, like this is how I picture it. Like she was like talking.
Yeah, just being so careless with the gun.
And like talking with the gun in her hand, and she accidentally shoots her mom.
Yeah, she shoots her mom, and she loses her shit when that happens. And then she's like talking to Sam. She's like, this was supposed to be for us. And he's like, the fuck you talking about? She's like, don't you remember me? And he's like, should I? Have we met before?
Kind of crazy.
And she was like, yeah, remember that one time like I came into your office and like I tried to kiss you? And he was still looking at her. And that's when she was like, Jesus, does that really happen that often? He's like, it's like an everyday thing. And that's when Monica saw Abby's picture on his desk and stuff. And then that's when she started to look like Abby.
Yeah.
And then she, realizes after, shooting her mom and stuff that Sam's never going to love her. So what's the answer to do when somebody decides not to love you?
I mean, it'd be a leave, right?
You think, but not for Monica. So Monica turns the gun barrel towards herself and shoots herself. And then that's when Abby passes out.
Yep, she finally is passed out from all the sleeping pills.
Sleeping medications, yeah. So she gets rushed to the hospital. She survives, which is great. And Sam's good too. He's got his wounds all covered up and taken care of. And Sam is like telling her what happened, Monica, and she's like, oh man, that sucks. Like, was the baby okay? And she was like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, I never said Monica was dead though. And she's like, so Monica survived shooting herself. And it was like, wasn't it like in the temple or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's stuck in a coma. So she's brain dead, right?
I believe so.
And
yeah.
So they keep her in like a coma until she can deliver the baby.
And yeah. And the baby's delivered safely. But Monica is being cared for by her stepmom and father. Well, her father and her stepmom, I should say. She doesn't have a stepfather, but...
Yeah. And... I don't know. I would be like, no.
Yeah. So, they obviously adopt the baby. And, fast forwards a year later, the baby's a year old. His name is David. And there's a knock at the door. At this point,
also,
I would dread having
my door. Apartment. I would have moved.
Yeah, that's weird that they're still in that apartment. I would have moved too. And especially that apartment, I would hate hearing my door knock. I'd be like, oh God.
Yeah.
I'd have such PTSD. And who's behind the door? Huh?
Oh, absolutely. I would too.
Oh, yeah. And Monica's stepmom is behind the door. With a gift of some sort.
I wouldn't have answered, personally.
I wouldn't have answered, and I wouldn't have taken in the gift.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a yellow blanket, and it was Monica's favorite as a child baby. And Abby's about to throw it away because Sam was like, no, I don't want that, like, throw it away. But then David sees it, and he reaches for it, and then when they take it away, he starts to cry. And so they're like, well, fuck. So they gave it to him, and David starts to like bury his face in it. And it smells like Monica's lavender perfume. And they were like, oh god.
Like, please
And
don't
then,
come after your mom.
yeah. And then that's essentially like when it ends. And so that's why it's unsatisfactory to me, because there's like no final resolution.
Yeah, it doesn't say like, oh, like he grew up and he wasn't crazy like his mom.
Yeah, and like there's no definitive like, I know that Monica's essentially brain dead, but it's like, what, you know? It's like she's not fully off of their shoulders, essentially.
Yeah, she's still a part of their life.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, no.
She shouldn't be. Get out.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's why it's like pretty predictable, because the whole time you knew Monica was the person behind everything.
And I think while I was reading it, I was like, oh, this seems too obvious. Like it's gonna be somebody else. It's not gonna be Monica, because like Monica is like the too obvious of a choice.
Yeah, I felt that same way. And like I was glad though when the second Sam plot twist came and he really wasn't like having an affair. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So that part got me too. And then Gertie got me, but yeah. It was very predictable. And like I said, the story itself is good. It's just like the ending stuff that I just truly didn't like, and what made me rate it a 3.5, which is the lowest rating I've ever given a Freida book.
Which is crazy for you.
I know. This is wild. But yeah. And all those red flags that Sam and like talked about, our Sam, not book Sam, is just, I don't know. It was doomed from the start, I feel like.
Yeah, no, it was not a bad idea. It was just not a good idea.
Not a good idea, but they definitely used Abby's like misfortune to their advantage, you know? Like she was in such a delicate state that they knew she would agree to it, that she wouldn't say no. She was that desperate to have a child. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, you're good. It's that time of year. Allergies.
Oh, gosh, I know. But yeah, that is The Surrogate Mother
By Miss Freida. It wasn't like a terrible book, and it's a pretty quick read.
It is. Let's see.
It wouldn't be like the main book I would recommend of hers, but it's not like, oh, it's bad, you know.
Yeah. It is 308 pages long.
Yeah, so it's pretty short.
Yeah, so there we go. That is, how I would recommend this book is like read it before you read her newer stuff.
Yes. I think that's where I've been having a hard time, because I read The Boyfriend first, and then I read I read that, and then I read The Housemaid.
Yeah. And so that's why it's like, you can tell it's an earlier book, like not in a bad way, but just like she was figuring out her
style,
her everything. Yeah. But yeah, it's a nice quick read, you know, and it's
available on Kindle Unlimited.
It's got a fresh new design. So it's like all the rest of her books, which I like. I like that she has this type of like cover.
The simple, like one main focal point.
Mm-hmm. Because it also like, it'll steer you off of what you think the book is about.
Yes.
So I like that. But yeah, that is The Surrogate Mother.
Yes. And be sure to like and follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And follow us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. And like and subscribe on YouTube if you want to watch the pod.
Yes. But thanks for joining us on another episode.
Two Please Potted.
Bookish banter and our little bit of judgment.
Just a little.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.